The current spoiler warning level is butterscotch.
Friends and folks, for this episode, you're looking at a spoiler warning level of butterscotch. We're talking about machines from Gundam 00, Season 1 and 2, and plot details. It's fairly spoilery for Gundam 00, but that's a show far in Great Gundam Project's past, so we consider it butterscotch. Please enjoy the episode. Hello friends and folks, and welcome back to another episode of Mechanista and G, and hopefully the end of this string of Saturday recordings. I'm Six Detmar.
I'm Dylan. Are we not going to be on for Saturday next week? We'd usually talk
if you
about
want
this.
to be, I guess.
No.
But I think we're good.
Okay. We'd usually talk about that off mic, but since you brought it up, I was like, well, anyway.
Yeah, no, I think we're back to normal next week. Week after that as well, but that's worries for later. For now, let's roll some dice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's only one thing on this list. Makes it nice and easy. Pretty easy for you too, I would imagine.
Some shows are more done than others.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're at a point where we will be doing like weird pull. It's really funny because at first I was like, we'll never run out of designs, but now I'm kind of like, oh, is this the Thrones Zwei?
Yeah.
Okay. I just saw the leg and I was just like, oh, that's the Thrones Zwei. I see the colors for that. Yeah, the Gundam Thrones Zwei and related units, which is the ones I like, as opposed to this, which I'm, out of all the Thrones, I think is maybe my least favorite of the three, but, well, we'll get into it. Alright, so the Gundam Thrones Zwei is a mobile suit. In Mobile Suit Gundam 00, it is the third of, well, it is the second of Team Trinity suits if we're going off the numbers, but it's the third one we're covering, because we've already covered the Eins and the Dry. So yeah, the Zwei. This is the close combat specialist unit of the group. It's kind of, you've got the Eins, which has the long-range cannon, the Dry, which has, like, the weird stealth field, and, is basically, like, a weird support unit, and then this is the melee one, if you can tell by the giant sword slung on the shoulder. So, like all the Thrones, this is a design by Naohiro Washio, who would later work on Gundam IBO as the designer of the Barbatos. And yeah, I mean, it's so funny because, again, I know I've mentioned it before, but you can always tell when it's his designs, though. You look at this leg shape, and if this thing didn't have, like, the beam weapon, like, on the arm, you could see this as an IBO Gundam is the thing.
Huh.
Even without the, I feel like even without it having the obvious Gundam frame stuff on the torso, like, looking at the shape of the armor, I could imagine, like, a Gundam frame from IBO having these feet, or, like, this leg shape and stuff. But
I feel like the feet, I agree. The leg, I don't think I do. Maybe because it's too flat.
Okay. See, I was thinking, like, this curved leg thing going on here just feels very...
Yeah, that part would work just fine, but I feel like IBO designs don't tend to be this flat.
Well, this is more sleek, is the thing. Well, sleek in a manner of speaking, right? This does still have the double... This still feels like a 00 suit in a lot of ways. Obviously, when we talk about the torso, there are elements that are very obviously 00. Anyway, so starting with the head, out of the three Thrones, this is the one with the most normal Gundam-like head in some ways. So you've got a combination Mohawk forehead jewel, like their parts are combined. It's all in orange. There's a camera kind of facing the same direction as, like, the flat of the forehead jewel, in pink, and then you've got a really thick V-fin on the inside of it. Like, it's like a normal V-fin, and then it has, like, an extra little, like, bit on the back of it that is, that widens it, and so it just makes it feel very thick for a V-fin. For the rest of the head armor, it's mostly in white. You've got some see-through to, like, some inner frame. It's not really a gray, it's like a tan color for this inner frame. It's got, like, a little bit on the head there, just on the sides. You have some cheek vents in yellow, that the armor kind of, like, opens up into. And then for the face, you've got a Gundam face with pink eyes, no lining around the eyes, really, or the mask itself is also, like, pretty featureless, no, like, vents or anything. It does have some panel lines on the side of it, and then you've got an orange chin embedded in there. I think of the 3 throne heads, this is the one that feels the most just like doing a Gundam head, which maybe contributes to why I don't like this design as much as the other 2. And, you know, it's funny because, like, sometimes you see the up-detail version of this. Like, for instance, I mentioned that there's the panel lining on the cheeks there. You can see on this SD render right here for one of the... I believe this is for one of the G-Gen games. Let me double check. What was this for? Crossrays, yeah. You can see, like, they do a thing where they color these, like, cheek parts, like, in the inner frame color, and I think that's kind of fun. And it does have, like, more mean-looking eyes, I guess, compared to a lot of Gundam-type mobile suits, and the mask is very angular instead of rounded. I still think it's still the most boring of the 3 heads. I don't always hate it, but it's just not my favorite. Moving on to the torso.
They do make the choice with that SD to have the eyes kind of fill up the sockets, which looks fine, I guess, but I feel like one of the things that is iconic about the design is how little of the eye socket the eye takes up.
Yeah, no, it's a very, like, it's the eyes are very deeply inset in the sete and also in a lot of the show's animation. They're just, like, kind of in there. But, yeah, moving on to the torso, we've got a torso that has... The upper section is in 3 sections. You got 2 pectorals with vents on the front of them, and then a top section. This is the other thing that feels actually very Gundam IBO to me, is the shape of the upper chest here, especially because I believe this is the cockpit, which, you know, is kind of common on those suits as well. But yeah, so you've got these very, like, the pectorals where the vents are very flat on the top, very much like a angled down shelf, and very flat on the sides. And then you've got an embedded, like, vent that it's in all yellow and has, like, a yellow divider in the middle of it. And then, yeah, the midsection just has, like, a lot of extra reinforced armor. It's very flat on the top, but then rounded as it goes around the front. And then underneath that, for the midsection of the body, you've got a whole lot of that inner frame. And you've got a lot of the... I mean, it's, you know, there's a GN drive in this thing, so you've got the big... Well, a GN drive Tau in this one. But, you know... you've got the big clear glass in purple over the front of the chest, and then, you know, it's kind of... While I will describe this thing as having a backpack, like a lot of 00 designs, it's not really much of a backpack, but we'll talk about it in a bit. You've also got this little, like, hatch cover right below the, right below that part of the chest there, and you have these, like, little blocks of white armor on the very bottom right before this connects into the waist, and you also have, like, almost like a rib cage of orange armor going around the sides of the torso here, which is pretty fun. And then for the arms are very widely set apart for this design. You can see they just feel like they go really far out. There's even, like, a big inner frame piece that is, like, between the shoulder and the torso there. There's just kind of like a big block to help space out the arms. As for the shoulder units, you've got, believe these are beam sabers, like conventional beam sabers, just kind of attached on the tops of the shoulders there on these little latches. And then next to the little beam sabers, you actually have also extending from the top of these shoulders, like a kind of a wing unit just popped up. It has orange on the front and then white on the back of it. For the shoulders themselves, orange plate on the front and on the back. It looks the same on the front and back. These plates have, like, an indentation, and the way that it's, like, a pink indentation, given all the cameras on this being pink, I'm wondering if these are, like, other external sensors just on the shoulder here.
Yeah, maybe, because it does have one of its weapons is sort of an all-range weapon, and so you can see the use of that, at least.
Mm-hmm. And then on the outer shoulder piece, in between the two plates, you've got more of that tan inner frame color that's just kind of like a bunch of little blocky pieces of armor on the very edge. As for the arms themselves, they're in, well, I say white, it feels, I'd have to look at it. Is this one of those ones that they color more gray in the show, though, because it's a bad Gundam, so it's not, like, white in the show? It's hard to tell because a lot of shots...
I think it's... Yeah. I think I remember it being fairly white.
Okay. It's hard to tell
here's
because...
a shot of it in space. What I keep cutting Dylan off from saying by accident is that it's often in shadow, but here's a shot of it in the light of the sun. And
okay, yeah, that works. Yeah. Okay. Well, because I was going to say, almost all the pictures of it are either in space with, like, a lot of heavy shading, or they're at night, or at, like, sunset. Because the Thrones are cowards, and that's when they attack people. Yeah. Yeah, so you got white armor for the bicep, just kind of a simple blocky bicep. Got like a very deeply set, it looks like it would just be like a single axis joint, given the design of it here. Like, just the shape of the joint there. It has a little white cap on the outer part of the joint, with like a little dash on it, while the inner part is just bare. For the forearms, you've got orange armor wrapped around the underside and elbow area that pops back pretty far, with white armor on the tops of the wrist area, or tops of the forearms going all the way down to the wrist. And then the hands are hands, though they do have the 00 Gundam thing of having like separate knuckle guards, besides the little squares on the back of the hands for armor. The left arm also has a little, like, I believe this is just a like wrist beam rifle, just embedded on the left arm. It's a GN handgun. Okay, it's similar to the one that the Throw and Dry has. And it's just kind of a backup weapon that's just attached to the underside of the left arm here. And for the weapon, though, it does have some white around the square parts, like, leading to the barrel. You got some orange on the underside, and then some white on the part that extends even further back from the elbow. It's just a cool little, like, sub-weapon there. Oh, and I forgot to mention, on the right shoulder, on the outside of its little, like, bump of armor on the shoulder, it does have a hard point, of which there is a very large weapon attached. For the waist, we've got a white piece on top of the crotch armor, and then it's, like, a very tall vertical piece of armor. Has, like, a very harsh, like, a sharp edge on the front of it as you go down it. So it almost looks like a wing, like a tail fin or something going down. And then it has a little bit of even thinner white armor at the very bottom of the crotch piece there. You also have on the skirts are very similar to the shoulder armor, where they've got the embedded, like, pink camera-looking parts on them. No side... Well, there are side skirts, but they're not attached to the waist unit. They're attached to the legs, so we'll get there. And then for the rear skirt, you've just got some flat plates that look like they have some vents, like, cut into them. But it's mostly just, like, blocky armor. Nothing too crazy there. For the thighs are in white. They have a bit of bare inner frame on the top of them that's visible. And then attached to that inner frame piece are the side skirt units. And these are, like, a large pair of, like... They're kind of similar to, like, the Aegis or something. These really large thruster units that also are weapon holsters for another weapon on this. So they're, like, orange around most of the edge, though they have some white armor around the top, and on the front there's, like, a big opening. Some white armor on the outside top of it, and then a big yellow piece. And then you can, I believe these are the weapon themselves, the GN fangs, you can see in the side skirt there that are, like, you can see them, they're folded up, and so you just see a bunch of points, pointing out of the side skirt armor.
Better angle on them from the back.
But... Yeah. And then the inside flat of these side thrusters is actually, like, in a gray color as it goes down. More of, like, a bluish slate gray, which does pop up on a couple of pieces on this. It's not, like, the default inner frame color, but it, like, pops up on the barrel of the GN handgun and, like, a couple other parts of it, as well as on these side skirts, and then the sword as well, that we'll be talking about. For the rest of the thigh, though, mostly in white, you have an interesting joint going on with the legs. They're really hard to see because they're all blocked up, but they're doing the same thing as the arms, where the inside has, like, bare frame visible, but the outer thigh has, like, a little white piece as a cap over it. And you can see when you see it from the back, you can see the way the leg bends. The knees have a very, like, weird kind of rounded quality to them. They're in orange, and they, like, bulk up to the up pretty high up in front of the thighs, and then as you go down them, they have 2 open vents on the front of them that have, like, a bit of yellow material around the edges of the vents. Then as you go to the back of them, it's just a lot of bare inner frame. And then for the feet, you've got big circular ankle parts that have, like, a bit of armor on the top of the front of the foot, kind of protecting where the little circular ankle piece is. And then you've got a tall toe that's kind of... It's funny because the shapes here actually almost feel very Turn A-like, with how it's like this,
sure.
Very harsh, like, circular, like, cutouts going on with the feet. And then these heels, you've got, like, a heel that is also very, like, lots of, like, weird little angles on it around the top, and you've got, like, this edge running around the sides and back of it, and before it, like, narrows to a bit of a high heel. For the backpack unit, you've got a large cone coming out of the back of this. It has, it's your usual GN drive shape overall. It looks like the drive is pretty covered. You've got these, like, big vertical like, inner frame parts just sticking out from the back that are mostly just, like, mechanical parts. It looks like just there for not really any particular purpose. And you have this tall red hood put, like, over the back of the GN drive that has some vents on the back of it. And yeah, that's the Throne Zwei. So this is used by, is it Michael Trinity? Yes it is.
Uh-huh.
And
Mikhail.
For its armaments, it has a GN Buster Sword, which we can see very clearly on the sete. It's just a large single-edged sword that is like a two-handed sword. The edge on it is, like, in a gray color. You can also see there's actually a split on it, running down the length of it, and that's because this... Well, does this one open into a rifle, actually, or no?
So, in the kit, you can pop it open. In the show, this never happens.
Okay, so it's really funny, right? Because the Arche, which we'll be talking about, does just make it into a sword rifle. But I was, like, looking at this handle, and I'm like, it looks like you couldn't... This has a different handle than the Arches, and so you couldn't, like, have it hold it, in, like, a rifle-y way. But they do put a clear barrel at the end of it here on the kit, so maybe it was, like, a planned thing that they just didn't end up using in the show.
That's how it feels to me. Yeah, is that there was an intention of that. I will note the wiki notes that when the HG came out, like, a bunch of that had that pop open and you could stick a beam saber, like, effect in the end.
Oh,
and it's like, oh, a lot of people did this. I've pulled up, like, 8 different reviews from when this kit came out, and no one has done this on theirs. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Okay. But yeah, so you've got the GM Buster Sword is probably, like, the main known piece of equipment on it because it's very large and obvious on the design. Next up, you have the GN Fangs. So this is the one of the 3 that has a remote weapon. The GN Fangs are... Well, let me... I'm pulling up MHQ because they'll be better quality, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to load it. The image is having trouble loading because of all the fucking bots that have been swarming MHQ. Piss off and let us use our site.
And, like, every other website. Here we are. I got them. Here we are. Yeah, so you can see them in the side there. They're, by default, they're just shaped like a big blade. It's kind of funny because it almost looks like they have, like, a normal funnel at the end of them there. Like, if
kinda, yeah.
Like, that just looks like almost like very similar to the Keyblaze bits or something, but yeah. But that's just presumably where it's expelling GN particles. And yeah, so the GN fangs here have little blades that can extend out of the sides of them. They can be used as solid weapons, though they can fire like little, seemingly weaker overall beams, though, I mean, they're still GN beams, they're still gonna fuck up most things in the setting. And they can also emit, as you have here, where they just emit a beam blade to help with stabbing and driving into and through an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Because basically, like, unopened, they can, like, pierce through, Season 1 normal grunts.
Yeah.
But by the time of... And so the shots can take care of stuff there, too. By the time of Season 2 and everyone's upgrades, it's like Fangs can use their shots to, like hinder someone, but it's kind of only with the blade out that you're actually going to do damage.
Yeah. And then, as mentioned, you've got the GN handgun on the left arm. It's just kind of a backup weapon to give it something if it is approached in close combat and it doesn't have a sword ready. And then it also has the just 2 regular GN beam sabers on the tops of its shoulders, as like quick access backups. Again, probably for emergency close range engagement. Oh fuck, someone's coming in on me. I gotta grab something faster than I can grab my sword. And then, so this machine is in Season 1. This machine gets stolen, pretty infamously, by Alial Seshez at the end of, towards the end of the season. He meets the Trinities on the ground, tells them that they've been, he tells them they've been fired, but he also killed their boss, right? Because this is after he's killed Laguna, right? Laguna Harvey.
I believe so.
Yes. And so he kills one of them, fucks up, shoots the other one, the Ein brother, and then is like, hey, I'm gonna go steal this, and they're like, well, that won't work without, Michael's biometrics, and, well, it works for him, and they're like, oh, shit, and then, he destroys the throne Eins. Nena barely gets away because, the intervention of the normal, Celestial Being Gundam pilots. But then Alial Seshez basically is like, hey, I stole a Gundam, I get to keep this, and uses it to continue lording his way up the military. He's just like, hey, look at me, I'm cool. I fucked up one of those Gundams, and I stole it.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, the Arche, the Throne Zwei kind of has 2 different upgrade paths. We'll talk about the Arche because it's the animated one. There's also a weird one that we'll talk about that comes up in the fucking stage show for some reason. They decided to give him something else that isn't the Arche in that.
Well, it's for plot reasons. He doesn't steal the dry in the
Oh, they
play.
just build him one? Okay.
Yes, out of the spare parts of the others, because he, instead of shooting Mikhail, he's like, hey, you guys work for me now, and they're like, okay.
Oh, okay. I guess. I mean, did they just want to keep the actors for the stage show? Did they not want to get rid of them or something? I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
I mean, yeah, no, I don't think... I don't know if Rebuild has ever been translated, but...
I would be surprised. Very few of those live dramas get translated.
Yeah, so, first up, the actual one that people will know from the show then is the Arche Gundam, which... Hold on. HQ Arche, because, again, I want better quality art than what is on the website. And this is the one that I really like of the Thrones. This is my... It's very funny that you go from, the Thrones Zwei being my least favorite to then making my most favorite out of them, but that's what happens.
Well, it's mostly because we never got a proper sequel to the Dry.
I mean, to be fair, I like the Arche Dry also.
Yeah. I mean, I think we talked about that.
We talked about that one on the Arche, or on the Dry episode. Yeah, that was like one of the ones I remember being weird because we're like, well, it's technically not really related to the Arche, but it is. But we're talking about the Throne Dry, and the Throne Dry needs something else to talk about with it, So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, so the Arche Gundam, this is Alial Seshez's suit in Season 2 of Gundam 00. So, some familiar shapes with some changes going on here. First of all, the head. the head has a really fun thing going on with it, where rather than a weird instead of a two-eyed head, you've got a head that has like 4 very narrowed eyes. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, wow, I got it. You got it. Which I love the look of. You've got it has like a different V-fin design. You have these white V-fins. I also like the color scheme on this. This is like a red color scheme, sort of I guess like a maroonish red, and then white as the secondary color, and then you've got that sort of tannish color for the inner frame again. But
it makes me think of Jolly Ranchers.
Well, the way that they shade the sete here does feel that way, because it's got all the shininess on it that a lot of 00 sete has, so it does make it feel like it's got like a candy coating on it. But yeah, so it's white V-fins. On the forehead, you've got these like little vents cut into the sides of them. You can kind of see them on the sete there, or right there. Like, they're a little bit like, well, they're like right above where the V-fins are connected into. For the forehead jewel, you've got a white jewel that then has like a little embedded like gem piece that I know it's white here, but I think sometimes it gets colored like being like, you know, a camera color, like the eyes. Just on different, you know, artworks and whatnot. But yeah. Then for the face though, besides the eye changes, you've got these way thinner vents for the cheek vents. They're just kind of running along the sides of the face. And then the chin is still kind of bulky, but then it has like a little bit of white paint at the end of it. For the torso is mostly identical to the Throne Zwei's, except you add these 2 harsh, like, sharp color fins going back around the sides of the head. The rib parts are a little less flat, like they're more flat and they're less flat. They don't have like a flat end. They end in more of a point where they're like wrapped around the centerpiece. And then it removes some of the excess inner frame from around the midsection, so it's pretty bare where it's connected into the waist there. So you just got like a big circular piece with the purple part underneath. Then for the shoulders have been similar design, but they're very extended. Very flat on the top. You've still got like the pink cut-ins for the cameras there. And then it's got these like the fins that were already on top of the Throne Zwei's are even larger now, and I know in a lot of cases they tend to be shown as movable. They're just able to move up and down. Then for the arms, these are my favorite thing that has changed. The bicep has been slightly elongated. It's still it's in all red armor, very like flat on the sides, very blocky. Then it's connected into, this is much more of an obvious double joint rather than like a weird single axis joint. You've just got like a big circle, and you can see where it bends on it. These forearms are extremely long, and this is the thing I really like is, the way the elbow pops up, if the arms are laying flat, like, it kind of flattens against the armor, so it looks like a big, like, monostructure when it's like that. The elbows are a little bent in the, you know, sete art, and you can see the gap there, but yeah. The very elongated arms, though. The hands themselves are pretty normal. Rather than having the knuckle guards, they have a thing where they have, like, a harder divot in the middle of them, and then the top and bottom armor is thicker. It does still have hard points on the undersides of these arms. For the left arm, that's where the shield goes, and on the right arm, it equips the sword there instead of the shoulder. We'll talk about that when we get to the armaments. For the skirt, you've got, like, a bulky piece on top that is, you know, just like this blocky kind of pentagon, like upside down pentagon shape on the top. And then just another sharp wing-like piece going down for the crotch, though it's a little wider than the one that was on the Thrones of Eye. And then some flat, front skirts here. The rear skirts resemble the front skirts. The rear, like, waist part is just a blocky piece. For the legs, you still have the side skirts attached to the thighs. They're now more covered than they were on the Thrones of Eye. They still serve the same purpose of being the containers for the GN fangs, but now they've got, like, some armor over the outside of them, and they have this large wing coming out of them, which I think is fun. That is tipped with some white on it, but the legs are mostly in red. Then you've got a huge circular joint for the lower leg as well. The lower legs generally are kind of shaped similarly to the Throne Zwei's. They're a bit thinner, but you've got a knee that pops up decently to in front of the thighs. You've got these they almost look like little jet turbines for the side, like the calf thrusters on either side. The outer ones have like a opening on them. The inner ones are fully armored. And then they have like this little conical end to them, which is fun. And then the feet are similar in shape to the ones on the Throne Zwei. The heels are a little higher though. And then the frontal leg armor, it kind of combines that like separate ankle armor piece with the toe into like one, very massive like toe heel thing going on, or high toe piece. Finally, for the backpack differences, this machine is, I believe, all piloted from the back now, and this backpack unit is essentially the core fighter for it. So it's like the two little ribs running around to the front are actually running into this on the back. It's very tall, popped up. You can see the wings. It's got like these little folded up wings there, and these little top wings. And then it's got like a tail stabilizer that can move up and down. Presumably the moving up and down is more for the mobile suit mode. And yeah, so that's like a weird... It's a little core flyer that almost looks like it becomes... It's really funny when you see it. It looks like a weird fucking Ace Combat future drone. Which I quite like.
It's also fun. It's, it's true of all the core fighters from 00, but it's like huge.
Yeah, it's very large.
It's like really big compared to the size of the mobile suit.
I do like that it keeps the head with it. Like it just takes the head off with it down there. Same with these. I think these upper collar pieces are not actually attached to the color. I think they're attached to like the mechanism that gets yanked out with the rest of this. It looks like, but yeah, this is a fun little core fighter design though. Which, to be fair, I like a lot of the ones in 00. So. So yeah, when it comes to the armaments for the sword here, obviously the sword, when it's not equipped, he has it like, it's underslung on the arm in a way I think is really neat. One of the cool things about it being underslung this way is they've added like a transformation mechanism to this design of the sword, so when it pops open, it also slides forward a little bit, and parts of it pop up to serve as a grip for the hand. And that's, when it's equipped to the underside of the arm, that's how it holds it as well. Which I think that's fun. Like the way that this whole mechanism this slides open and then the handle kind of pushes and it pops this part up. I think that's fun. And then, of course, it has the sword mode, which, it just is a big sword. It's kind of funny with Buster Sword. Like, the rifle mode is cool, and I do think, also, it's just very much Ali's style, so it makes sense. This isn't like a Cinema Cinzy thing, but there's actually not much reason for it to have the GN Buster Sword, because if you're fighting fucking, Celestial Being, they have one spaceship, and the rest are mobile suits. There's no need for a weapon that is this anti-ship sword. But here's the thing. Ali, knowing Ali, he's like, but I want to fight them up close.
Exactly. I mean, well, you would just want a sword that was more elegant and well,
don't worry, he has some other elegant swords on this we'll talk about.
Well, and also, he's just a guy who likes it when weapons feel violent. He likes to feel like he's hurting people, so it makes sense.
You can see the new mechanism for the doors on these GN Fang containers, rather than them being in the open. These little side pods, there's some on the front and the back. These can pop open and then, fly out of there, which is fun.
Got 10 instead of 8 this time.
So 5 in each, presumably. And then... one of the other fun things is on these legs, one of the reasons the feet have been made so much larger is they also now house beam sabers in them. I like this mechanism where the, like, this whole foot part, except for the white area, shifts upward, and then the white part, which is a beam saber, like, you know, can aim forward or aim down if necessary. Just kind of funny. This, like, weird, these feet beam sabers. I love when he deploys it too, because it's when if I remember right, it's during the fight. He's fighting the Ceravi, I believe, when it comes up, because the whole thing, you know, the Ceravi is doing its thing with the extra limbs that the Seraphims give it, and he's like, "Oh, I can do that too, asshole," because L.E.L. Seshes is a cartoon. And then the GN shield, it's kind of a simple GN shield design. Oh yeah, you can even see it. He's fighting it here. It's just funny that it has its extra beam sabers, and then he's fucking like, okay, well, what if I block you with my feet and kick you in the face?
Yeah. It also does show with those parts slimmed away. Just it looks really good.
Mm-hmm. Then for the shield, it's a pretty simple shield. I believe it can generate a GN field, if necessary. Yeah, it can generate a beam shield, and then also, it has these, like, little wings. I don't think these actually do anything, but, you know, it has these little wings.
I think that's how it generates the shield.
Oh, when it's using it, those probably pop down. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, just a simple little, like, side shield, though. And then, yeah, so you got... Then that's all it really has. It doesn't really add much to it. If anything, he has taken away some armaments by getting rid of the little handgun, and he got rid of the GN beam sabers. I mean, well, okay, no, they're in the feet now, I guess, but, you know. Ali didn't want a lot more. The Zwei was already pretty good for him. You know.
Yeah.
Oh no, I guess, okay, the little collar pieces do stay behind. I was seeing these rib parts that get carried backwards with it. Okay. Because there's this is the little ejection mechanism for it. I love this little mechanism. I'm glad it keeps the head. It's just a funny little plane. It looks, again, it's very, like, I don't know, it just has Falcon vibes to me or something from Ace Combat, you know, weird future jet.
Sure. Funny little guy. This motherfucker, you fire a missile at it, and it pulls a turn that you're like, come on.
You're like,
it can't do that.
Some line art of the head here just to show it. I really like this head. You know why I think I like it? It's kind of the Gundam Mark V thing, where this technically possesses all the features of a Gundam head, but not in a way that looks like a Gundam head. You know, it's got an extended chin. I guess the four eyes are different, but, you know, it's got a forehead jewel, it's got a weird V-fin, it's got the cheek vents. It's just all being done in ways that don't look conventional, you know? And that's... Yeah,
I like the Gundam Mark V's way better, but I hear what you're saying.
I like both of them.
I don't dislike the Arche. I think the Arche is cool. I'm a big Gundam Mark V fan. I think it's fucking sick.
This is fair. This is entirely fair. So, before we get to the alternate throne that we will never talk about otherwise, give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab the art from his book, because I think it's better quality than anything. Well, let me see. MAHQ Jagd Arche. Because there is an upgraded Arche that is really funny, that I love, because it's so maximalist. But, let's see. And I have Washio's book, which has some really good art of it.
I'll put up the art I can get while you
you do that. And the Jagd Arche, though, is what if I did everything? This is Aliel Sasha's going the other way of, I will do everything. You know all three of those thrones? What if you just made all of them one unit? And it was a mess, but I'm Aliel Sasha, so I can deal with it. It's fine. I mean, he didn't, because they didn't end up making it ? Because, you know, the backstory of a lot of things in 00 work that way. You know what? They're good enough. I have some scans from his book. I'll put the one extra part, which is the backpack, the new backpack rack, is in his book here.
Oh, please.
So that's kind of fun. But but the rest of it's pretty similar quality, so. Okay, so the Jagd Arche. What have we changed? Well, the head is the same design. The torso is... it looks like it's a little different. It looks like it's just gotten bulkier. Like, it doesn't seem to have the collar, like, spikes that are just spikes. It looks like this whole torso section has been bulked up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like two-tiered.
Mm-hmm. The shoulders and the arms, nothing's really different. They have more detail on them, but that's just because this is not Sete for 00 Season 2, which is the most we've had to simplify these designs ever kind of thing. You know, when Washio, this is just Washio drawing on his own. The waist is where things get really different as well. The middle crotch piece is a bit more and a bit less like the Throne Zwei's. It's longer. It's just like a really long tail fin again, but it's still not as sharp as the Throne Zwei's was at the front, but it is like a big plain tail fin just as the crotch piece here. The next changes are the rear skirt. It now has a rear skirt that kind of resembles the side skirts that are used for the GN fangs, so it looks like it's got a big, like, almost like a elytra on the back of it, like a bug. Like a beetle elytra kind of thing going on. For the legs, well, it would be hard to tell you if anything changed on the thighs, because the container units for the GN fangs are huge now, because they're pulling double duty. These are not just GN fang containers, these are now also GN particle emitters for doing the stealth field, similar to the throne dry. The wings have been made much larger. I kind of love that these are even more airplane wings. They have, like, even, like, little, like the little up and down, like the pitch and yaw kind of foldy parts on the back of the wings there, which is funny. The rest of the leg is pretty much the same as the one. It's just a lot of extra detail. And then finally, the backpack. Now there's an extra rack attached onto the back of the plane. You can see it, the art of it here. You can see it right there, though. It's just kind of attached to the back section of the core fighter, between the body and the little stabilizer on the back of it. And it has two little, like, base binders. I don't know if there's anything inside of these, or if these are just large binders here. Attached onto the right side, well, I guess if you're looking at it from the front, the left side, but, on its right side is a copy of the Throne Ainz' cannon. It's a little smaller, but it's still huge. It doesn't seem... It doesn't seem like it has, like, the barrel extension thing that the one on the Ainz does, but it does have just, like, a big shoulder beam cannon. And then on the left shoulder, because it's not carrying them on the arms, it has two GN Buster Swords. Just folded over the back.
Yeah.
This machine is ridiculous. And I love it because it's so ridiculous. So the little GN containers have a couple of new little features to them. Hold on. Let me pull them up. So here's the new tail armor. The tail armor is, because MHQ does have some of this, actually. Funnily, this is not in Washio's book. So here's the new tail armor. Again, you can see, like, it's got some venting underneath it. Looks like it maybe can extend or move. Looks like it's got, like, moving armor parts on it, but yeah. And it is connected like a tail, though, so it can wiggle and move if necessary, like, to be out of the way. Still has the feet beam sabers. The GN containers on the sides of the leg. These are interesting because you can see that they now have these side parts that can open, and it looks like, are those?
That's for the stealth field, I would imagine.
Yeah, but what are these little missiles?
Aren't those the fangs?
Are those the fangs? Did they change the fang design? Okay. That I actually didn't...
I mean, it looks a lot like the fangs. It has the same little bit in the end.
I just didn't know if it had GN missile... Oh! Instead of GN fangs, they can also be loaded with GN missiles. Okay, so it's an either
you have your
or.
choice, I see.
Because the Throne Dry has GN missiles in its thing, so this is to make it parallel.
Oh, and probably the little tail on them is because they are like funnel missiles.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So it can have either or. And then... Yeah, that's pretty much it for the new armaments, though. I mean, it's really funny because it adds so much extra for not really actually adding as much as you would think, because it's just adding the cannon, one extra sword, and then the stealth field capabilities. I love this thing. Have you seen this thing in, Gundam Extreme Versus? Because they added it inexplicably.
I have not.
It's so fun seeing this thing in motion, because it's one of those designs that looks really chunky, and I was having a thing about this because of some people talking about a specific new design from something, and saying that it looks like it can't move, which I understand where that complaint comes from, but sometimes when people say that, it's really funny, because models or kits or these things exist in a game, and in fact do move quite a bit, and so that's how I feel whenever I see the Jagd Arche at work in, in the games. But this one actually, weirdly enough, this actually even got a figure back in the day. This actually got a Robot Spirits that I've considered getting. It's a really old Robot Spirits. It's that era where they're still kind of MSIA quality, where they're made out of the softer plastic. But also due to that, it's a little cheaper, because like 00 is, I want to say, when they start really getting into doing, the rebranding the line as Robot Spirits. But here we are. Found it.
Yeah, so this is really helpful. I'm glad I didn't say what I'd been thinking earlier, which is I was like, I think this design doesn't work for me, but I feel like if I saw it moving, I might change my tune. And watching this gameplay, I'm like, yeah, no, that works.
It's cool seeing it fly around. Well, and that's the other thing, is it does have the benefit of being a 00 suit, so that means it flies anyway. Everything in 00 just gets to move freely through the air however it wants.
And it's doing a lot of pretty acrobatic movement, and just like the binders and the containers are like flipping out of the way as it extends its limbs, and it looks really good and fluid.
Mm-hmm. Like these are some ancient review pictures. But, like, here's, like, I actually really like how it looks having both of the, Buster
that
swords
looks
on the
really
arms
good.
like that. It's really fun. Oh, yeah, right. Hobby no Toriko. These are their pictures. Sadly, that Hobby no Toriko still posts, but it is defunct. I was also wrong. This actually shows me something that I didn't realize. The cannon does extend. At least on the Robot Spirits, they made it so it does. So never mind.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It is not a more compact version of the cannon. It's still huge. That's funny. But it's just funny seeing, like, the kit, because, again, people put it in the air and actually get into pretty good poses. It's got a lot of parts that you maybe worry about bumping into each other, but, that's fine. Look, the computer fixes it for you. It's fine. Don't worry about it. That argument can be made for all mobile suit limbs, is the thing. And yeah, so this is a machine I really adore, because it's so extra in a way that I just... Sometimes I like the extra and the self-indulgence with designs, I'm an AOZ fan, as it were. Now for a less good design that annoys me, because I just don't think it's all that cool. The Throne Viers, because we'll never talk about it. Oh, right.
For some reason, I thought we'd already talked about this, and I was like, really? I think the next one's really sick. Oh, this one. Yes, okay.
Oh, wait, what was the one you thought we were going to talk about?
I mean, I figured we were going to do Dubious Arche after this.
And I was like, right. I was going to say that for sick. After we're done with... Yeah, after we're done with all the 00 stuff. Sorry.
Right. I forgot we haven't talked about the Vier.
Yeah, the Throne Vier. So this is a weird design. This is from the stage show, and this is a weird hodgepodge of, like, repair parts that was made for Ollie. Now, what I want to know is, why does it still look like the Throne Zwei if it's a completely original unit now?
Well, it's not a completely original unit. It's made up of parts that already exist for the other machines.
Okay, but why is it all Throne Zwei parts, seemingly, in terms of color?
Because Mikhail's a moron and breaks his suit the most, so they have the most spare parts ready for him.
You know what? That's fair. That's actually... that makes total sense.
I've got an answer for everything.
Anyway, alright, so for the head here, we've got an asymmetrical Gundam head. It's a, like... You've got a tall mohawk on it with a very visible camera. It looks like it doesn't have any protection over the camera. It's just kind of bare, like the internals. You've got a broken V-fin, so it's only on the left, like only the left side is actually like a horn going out. The face, I guess looking at it, the face isn't really doing the same thing as the problem is the colors are all the Throne Zwei colors. I wish they had done it in different colors. They should have done it in, like, Arche colors or something. Anyway, so you've got some cheek vents going on that, you know, are sticking out a little. You can see a little bit of yellow venting in there. For the face, you've got, like, some gray housing around a plain mask. Rather than a flat mask, it is a little pointier on the front of it, and then the chin is also seemingly done with the inner frame. Much like the Throne Zwei, it has very small eyes that are just deeply inset in there. For the torso, still has the 3 sections. You've got, you know, this top section that is a bit pointed at the front. It has this extra bit of armor on the top of it, like, just kind of pointing forward with the rest of it. For the sides, you've got the pectorals featuring Gundam vents. Below the vents, you have the little ribcage parts that are housing around the little purple orb of the torso. Then, weirdly for one of these, you've got, like, the little hatch-ish part with the gray inner frame there, where a cockpit hatch would be on, like, a UC suit, but is not a hatch on this, I believe. And then, you have these, like, side bits of armor that are kind of Gundam-y, but, like, it's weird. They're, like, they feel upside down from how a Gundam's armor normally goes. They're, like, you know, wider at the top and they narrow as they hit which I guess they would narrow as they hit the waist, but the shape feels weird.
They feel like they're there to fill in the silhouette of the design to make it feel more traditional Gundam.
Yeah, for sure.
To not have that gap under the ribs.
Some other parts of this that get weird. When we get to the shoulders, so the shoulders have the little cameras on the front of them. They're still in red with some white bits at the tip of the armor. It's got these little bits of inner frame on the sides. And it does have, like, the little wings from the Throne Zwei. Instead of, like, normal-sized beam sabers, it's got these, like, really thick, almost beam cannon-y feeling parts. Especially given that they have this, like, extra camera on one of them. You can see there. They feel like little cannons on the shoulders instead of beam sabers, though.
Oh, they're supposed to be beam sabers?
I thought they were... Well, they're where the beam sabers are normally.
I'm not counteracting you. I've just, like... they just look so much like cannons, I just assumed. They're also a little too big, aren't they?
I don't know. It just says that these are GN beam sabers that are stored on the top of the throne Vier's shoulders when not in use. They are of a cylindrical shape, unlike the other Gundam thrones.
Okay.
Maybe they're like hyper beam sabers because of how fucking big the ends of them are.
They're big.
Yeah. The biceps, just kind of plain and blocky, same as the Throne Zwei's. Also, like the Throne Zwei, you've got the bare joint that has like a little armor cap on the outside, but then the inside is just bare frame. For the right arm, it's got this, like... each arm has an attachment on it. The right arm has this, like... it looks like a small shield. You can see it there, too. It's got, like, a little blade on the front of it. I don't know what's going on with there. These are apparently both just GN shields. It's a small one on the right arm and a large one on the left arm. But, yeah, so... the arms have that. The overall shape of the arms, again, similar to the Throne Zwei, though it does have these little open areas that have, like... it's almost kind of like how the Exia has, like, the little, like, cable film that you can see through the armor. It's kind of doing that, and it's yellow on the inside. Then for the skirts, you've got the little pink bits on the skirts there. The blade of the skirt is a lot shorter than the Throne Zwei's. We don't actually have any rear of this machine, unfortunately. So I can't tell you how the back of it looks. But looks like it doesn't have a substantial set of rear skirts. It still has the side skirts attached to the sides of the thighs, and they kind of just got this, like, bulky... the armor kind of reminds me of, like, kind of the Atlas Gundam or something. It looks like it's got these, like, ridges of gray on it that kind of remind me of, like, the Atlas Gundam's shield or something. It's really industrial looking, weirdly, which is not a thing I feel with a lot of 00 designs, but this design especially feels very industrial to me. Well, it still feels like a 00 design, but with industrial elements, I should say.
I mean, it feels very, like... this design has elements of it that are clearly 00-y, but a lot of it looks more like it's I don't know, like later UC MSV.
Yeah, it's a weird design.
That's strange.
I forgot to mention, the hands are not the Gundam throne hands. It has Jinx hands, complete with the same rounded hand armor the sharp nails. Then for the thighs are mostly in white. You have the little caps around the legs. It looks like the inner part is still, like, not capped, and just the outer armor is capped, same as the arms. The knees are in red. They have a little bit of white at the top of them. They raise up not quite as high as the Zwei or the Arche. As you move down the leg, it has these harsh panel lines running down the middle, and more of those like open areas that have the yellow film underneath, whatever's going on there. The legs are kind of weird in shape. They've got like a really chunky part on the back of them, and then they've got these like little spiky parts going like down and back from where the foot connection is. For the foot, large circular connection has this tall ankle armor tall foot armor on the top of the like front of the foot with another yellow open area on it. And then much less of a high heel here, very blocky feet going on. And then finally, it has a really strange so you can see its equipment here on this art. I'm making it bigger. This is its Buster Sword, right? It still has a GN Buster Sword that is stored on the back of it but not in use. And it's a weird one because it's like a thinner GN Buster Sword, or like not quite as tall one. It's got like this like pink lighting around it. It looks like it wouldn't open up into like having a rifle mode. It looks like it's just a sword.
Really? To me, it looks like it's already in rifle mode, and you just can also swing it. It looks way more rifle-like in its silhouette.
Yeah, I guess... It's weird. See, yeah. I assumed this was like parts that... I assumed these were not parts of the sword right here. Like these clasps, I assumed were holding the sword to it. So just this was the sword.
Sure, but just the silhouette of it with the... I don't know. To me, yeah, it could go either way.
I just don't know where the barrel is.
I just assume it's just on the front here.
But yeah, there's that. It's a weird looking sword, and then so the shields. So you can see the one shield there. That's the right arm shield, and it's got like a little like bit going on there.
Sorry, I should have made this smaller so the folks could see. Apologies, folks.
That's my bad. The left arm shield, the bigger one, has like a bunch of clasps on it, which is fun for how it clasps to the arm there. You can see like a whole bunch of them. Where are these GN fangs at? I don't see them.
You're pointing at them.
Where are they on this design?
Oh, I see what you mean.
Where are they on the design? Because they're not the side skirts anymore.
Are they on the back of the leg?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they are.
That's the only thing I can come up with. I was like,
okay.
Dylan, that's a silly wait.
Okay, apparently they're stored on the rear skirt armor, so we can't see... They are not appearing in this film from this angle.
Okay, sure.
And yeah, so that's it. I just think that for getting a new throne unit, this is a disappointing one, that's all.
I mean, you know, it's a stage play design.
Okay, but if I remember right, there are some cool things from that stage play. Let me see. Was there any? Let me double check. No, it's just the main guys appearing and then that. Never mind. Like, I get all the weird 00 post things mixed up because there's a lot of them.
Sure.
Because there's the stage show.
What's the fucking rebuild chronicle or whatever where they came up with the what are those called? There's the Exia one, and then there's the Dynamis one right now. They're like the slight enhancement packs.
Right, I forgot what those are called. Fuck.
The Devise Exia,
yes.
and the Devise. Because the Devise Exia is fucking cool.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of the weird ones that are all the Well, because Device was it's 00 Revealed Chronicle, and
yes,
which has the Estrella 2, the Device, Exia, and Dynamis. Well, and then that's the one that also has the, is that the one that has, like, the weird red ones also, that I was hoping they would do, but they didn't do? Yeah,
I
these
don't
ones.
remember. For anyone who hasn't seen them, okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna post this. This is the evil Exia that he fights in it.
Right, and here's the Devise Exia.
Yeah, with its
again, for
extra
anyone who
parts.
hasn't seen it, it's just fucking. It looks great. The sword's really cool.
Yeah, it's got extra arms on its backpack. It's a really funny one. There's just a lot of, like, look, there's a lot of weird post-00 stuff for, like, metal build and all that. It's fine.
It's good. I like
the designs.
pretty much like MSV. I like it when you're just like, let's fuck around with this design.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah. No.
This is not great. This Vier motherfucker.
Yeah. Here, real quick, also, just to throw it up on here. Here's the device, or the I-type, Dynamis. But it's also having 4 eyes. I like that they all just do the Jinx 4 eyes thing.
Well, if you're gonna do that, I have to post the
Device
Dynamis.
I mean, do it.
So
Yeah, do it.
There.
It's also got extra arms.
Yeah, it's got the little backpacks that are extra arms that fold out to hold pistols. It was after the Exia, it's a little underwhelming, but it is cool.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah, so then, now we're moving outside of Gundam 00, because the Arche still gets one more shout out, in a way that makes me so sad, because, well, we'll talk about it, in Build Divers Re-Rise.
Oops. I totally forgot. There are Build Divers Re-Rise spoilers here. I'm sorry. Here, let me give you an extra warning bleeper, just in case somebody didn't catch this. Yeah, they're totally spoilers for Build Divers Re-Rise in here that I completely forgot about at the top. They're not huge spoilers, and it's going to be really annoying to edit this into the video. Damn it. But sorry, yes, look out. They're not huge, but they are spoilers for Build Divers Re-Rise if you are yeah.
To go with the Core Gundam Alice, there is a Arche variant. Because all the Core Gundam variants, all the Alice Core Gundam variants are fucking weird, and we've got the Dubious Arche. To go along with the Fake New and the Reverse Turn X. I think the Dubious Arche is really cool. I think all of the Alice Core Gundam, alternates are really cool, and I'm so mad that the Reverse Turn X and the Dubious Arche did not get kits. They did the Alice Core Gundam! Give us things to put on the Alice Core Gundam!
Yeah, I think this is my favorite one.
It's so cool.
It's really sick.
So, yeah, so to describe this design, it's like a Arche head, with, like, the V-fin, but then it's got, like, some black armor breaking through the sides of it, that, like, kind of push the cheeks out a bit more. And the face is all glass to match the Alice Core Gundam in there. And then underneath the glass face, it's reconfigured its lights on the inside into being, like, an eye, and then you got the weird writing that pops up on the face there. The forehead jewel is now pink, instead of, like, the white jewel that is sometimes colorless on the head.
Mm-hmm.
For the torso, the upper torso, again, very similar to a lot of the Arche, but then for the midsection, the circular part, the Arche's, like, little, like, GN port thing, gets, like, the eye look that, all the Alice designs tend to have. So it's got rings of eyes instead of, just like a purple glassy look to it, which is fun. The shoulders have some black parts on the front of them now that house the cameras. It's got these, like, little black diamond shapes on them. The biceps are in black. The forearms are still extended. Not quite the same design, but you can see it still has, like, the inner frame and then, like, the underside hard points from the Arche. And then the hands are the Alice Core Gundam's, like, really weird long hands. It's got its, like, long fingies. For the crotch piece, the, like, skirts have some added purple on them, and they have, like, an added black piece on the top. A little black diamond is also embedded on the flat of the crotch piece there. It looks like the rear skirt is still red. It's probably just like the Arche Gundam, similar to the Arche Gundam's parts. The thighs are in black, and they have like the edge on the front of them, again, because they're just the Alice Core Gundam thighs. But then for the lower legs, you've got these huge... I love these like huge circular joint caps here on the side. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it does have the side skirts for the GN Fangs. The extra detail on them is that it has like an extra little black vent on the bottom side of the top diamond where they're connected into the side skirts. And then the wings that come out of them have these like extra black slats on them in the middle, which is really cool looking. Then the knees are really thick and tall, even for the Arche. And you have these large black, like diamond parts in the middle of them. The little, like jet turbine looking things have now popped open, and instead of being vents, more of the eye motif is going on, where you've got the rings for the eye there. Then the ankle armor is the same kind of huge joint that the leg uses there. The feet have a little bit more rounding to them, which is interesting, like around the side. Like there's just more angles on them. The heels are pretty much the same, but like around the ankle, like the toe and stuff, you just got these extra like points on them. These still might be the beam sabers on the feet though at the ends. And then finally, for the backpack unit, the core fighter has like changed excessively. It now has like a black diamond on the top. The wings are now like almost feathery because they have these like little cuts on them, like the little wings that are on the top of it at an angle. And then it's got these extra like little binder spikes on them that are similar.
Well, those are from the Alice, right?
Yeah, that's the Alice Core Gundam has them on the back, so you can see them now on the sides there. And then it's got like a weird looking GN drive where it's like in tan with like black spikes, like 4 of them top and the top, bottom, and then the sides around it. And then it still has the stabilizer fin, but then with a black piece at the end of it. Oh, and then the back of the legs. This is kind of a fun take. It's the thrust. I like the way that these feet are standing because it's got like the thrusters from the back of the Alice Core Gundam's legs visible there, and you can see like the hooked heels going into the bottom of the leg, which is fun. And then I forgot to also mention, much like how the wings on the sides of the core fighter are kind of like more feathery. It's got these like weird like the wings that are on top of the shoulder for the Arche are now, instead of like a flat like plain wing, have these like little notched parts on the side of them, so they also have like a almost more organic feel to them. This machine's cool as hell. This machine's great. It's also weird looking when it does the Trans Am in the show, because it just kind of makes like a whole bunch of like lines appear all over the body when it's doing the red, in a way that just looks really cool. And yeah.
And then it turns into just the red glow when they're doing normal animation for the sake of this, animator's sanity.
Yeah, no, it's only when it initially activates, it does, the noise, and then, still has the GN Fangs. They look to be similar in design to the actual Arche's GN Fangs, though. Appropriately, the GN particles on this, to go with the Alice theming, are now all purple instead of red, which I think is fun. And yeah, so it's got some differences to it that are fun, but it's still I think it's a fun design.
Fucking rules.
Yeah, it's a cool design. And yeah, and that's all the Arches, even though, all the Throne Zweis. Sorry, I forgot there's something that comes before the Arche. Right.
Is there?
The Throne Zwei. I just forgot that we rolled the Throne Zwei and not the Arche.
Oh, yes. Okay. I thought you were saying, like, and there's a predecessor machine that we haven't talked about.
No, there is a predecessor machine, but I think we talked about it. Or no,
we've talked about the O Gundam.
No. Sure. It's a successor machine, but I was gonna say we already talked about it though. The Throne Varanus we talked about on like a Jinx episode.
Oh, sure. Yes, we've talked about that. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, yeah. I think though that's a wrap. So, 6.
Hi.
Where can people find you and your work online?
You can find me on bluesky6.scanlinemedia.com. You can find my work at scanlinemedia.com or patreon.com/scanlinemedia. Please check it out. We have a bunch of we have a ton of podcasts. We have a bunch of fun stuff for you to engage with. I imagine we're going to be doing a patron only pod on the sorcery of Nymph Circe in a couple of weeks here. I would just guess, historically speaking.
Nice.
If you're a Gundam person. Yeah, also you can join us on the Discord. There's a link down in the show notes, unless you're on YouTube, because we've talked about that. I don't want bots getting in that easily, so I don't put it on YouTube.
Makes sense.
And come talk to us and make your listener requests. Next week we'll be rolling listener requests, I suspect. Dylan, what about you?
You can find me over on Blue Sky at Low Poly Robot. It's pretty much all where I'm at. I hang out in the Discord occasionally and post things as well. Like I was talking about a lot of BattleTech designs in there. So if you want more robots from me, I will talk more robots in there. My BattleTech take was I like the guys with hats, such as the Rifleman. And then I don't know, that's it. Well, Rifleman 2C is the one with the hat. The regular Rifleman doesn't have a hat, it just has an antenna on top. Though I also like, I like the Glass Spider, that's another one that has that. The thing is, I will make fun of a lot of BattleTech because BattleTech people can sometimes be insufferable when it comes to talking about mecha. But BattleTech is fun. There are a lot of mechs in it. The game systems are fun I like the tabletop, so. Oh, also shoutouts to Muffin Lord, regular listener who's been around for a while, who, speaking of which, sorry to shout you out here, Muffin Lord, but painted a Rifleman in a Rifleman 2C in color scheme inspired by the color scheme I use on stuff, and I was like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I just wanted to give Muffin Lord a shout out because I'm enamored with this Rifleman, and I'm like, hell yeah, I love Rifleman. Anyway,
it's sick.
All right.
Well, with my thanks to to a Facebook group, it's called Gundam News. Our quote this time is, "GN particles are actually quite pretty."
Oh, right. He only does say that.
After he murders Johan, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is this screenshot
right
here.
Yeah, there it is.
Explosion.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's when...
It's pretty.
It is pretty. He's right. Don't breathe them in, as we learned. At least not their machines. You don't want to breathe in the red ones.
Peace.
Peace.